It is a problem we've known about for decades. Las Vegas has thousands of rape kits that were never tested.
Most of those victims survived and remember the trauma. Their attackers are still out there. Fox 5's Cindy Lundeberg dug into the problem and talked directly to Metro Police.
My victim only wants me to call her Jessica. Her story is hard to hear, but it's her story of struggle and justice. Just as a warning, the story does contain graphic content.
It was a warm spring night when Jessica went over to an acquaintance's apartment.
I had gone there by myself because he said he wanted to give me something that I was supposed to give to my boyfriend.
The next thing she knew, a knife was out against her body. She says she was just trying to stay calm, to stay alive.
He put a chair against the door, and he told me I'm not leaving anywhere until I give him what he wants. He just did what he was gonna do.
After her 2-hour-long attack, she ran to the closest place she could, this gas station.
And he said not to tell anybody or he'd kill me.
Police arrived, and she then showed them where the attack happened and told them who did it. Jessica then went to the hospital for a rape kit. She was just 21 years old.
I was given a paper and told to call within 30 days.
And while the page is withered and fading, her memories from that night haven't.
It comes to my mind sometimes when I'm laying at night, sometimes trying to go to sleep.
And that was it for almost 5 years.
I thought I was never going to be able to put him away.
Jessie's rape kit was sealed and stored as evidence and joined the list of 6,500 others that went untested from 1984 to 2014.
We've known that we have a large number of sex assault kits that have never been subjected to DNA analysis. So for Southern Nevada, there was about 6,500 total.
That number wasn't something Kimberly Murga was proud of. She's the director of lab services for Metro Police.
I'm hoping that for any sex assault kits in the future, that they'll have a very different experience than some of our sex assault kit victims of the past.
There are a lot of reasons she says this backlog happened. First, Metro didn't start testing DNA until 1999. Second, they just didn't have the resources to test all these. Third, money. It can cost thousands of dollars to get these rape kits tested. So Kim worked to help get the funding needed, and she expanded the team to test them.
Prior to us starting this, we had only tested about 100 sexual assault kits per year. So for the fact that we've tested almost 6,000 in the past 2.5 years, it's amazing. We're pretty close to being completed, and we should have all of those sexual assault kits completed by the summer.
One of those kits tested was Jessica's, and it came back to a match.
Was the match the initial guy that you said did it?
Yes.
Jessica's rape kit, just like nearly half of the other ones tested, got a hit in CODIS, or the National DNA Database.
Of all of those sex assault kits, we've put about 1,254 DNA profiles into CODIS, and we've obtained about 611 CODIS hits. That's about 49% return rate.
Almost half of these kits, that person may have been in trouble for another felony crime.
Correct.
So far, though, thousands of victims still wait for justice. The tested rape kits have only yielded 17 arrests.
DNA testing will end eventually, will be done, but the investigative process will never really end. These folks prey on our community. They prey on our young, they prey on our kids, they prey on our adults. These crimes are prolific, they're terrifying, they're heartbreaking, and the victims are oftentimes alive and remember the trauma.
It took part of me, it was hard for me. It took part of who I was, and it took my self-esteem because it made me feel weak.
1.5 rape kits come into Metro every day. That's about 45 a month. Jessica wants you to remember, those aren't just kits. They represent people's lives ruined and sometimes taken by people who are still out there.
There's so many women that deserve the justice, and it's unfair that so many men who have done this are still running the streets. They get to do what they want, live their life, be happy.
It's been almost 5 years. Do you think he thinks he got away with it?
I think he does. He's out there living his life.
And for the victims still waiting for justice, just like her, she has a message.
What would you say to them?
I mean, I know it's hard at the time, but it will get better.
We called Metro Police about Jessica's case. They told us there was a hit on her rape kit and said the suspect in her case may also be involved in other crimes. But part of the reason there are so few arrests in these cases is because DNA degrades over time. So for some of these kits from the 80s and 90s, they're going to need to be tested and retested. Then the process of tracking down the victim and the suspect will start all over again. But Metro Police told me they're confident this backlog will never happen again. That's because a new law was recently passed. Assembly Bill 97 makes it so any sexual assault kit must be submitted within 30 days, and all testing must be done and entered into the CODIS database in 120 days. Cindy Lundeberg, Fox 5 News, local Las Vegas.